what I've tried to not in every case, but mostly there's something difficult about the dance that if you just don't concentrate, you'll mess it up. And this is in the spirit of what Sufi Shan was doing. You couldn't do his dances unless you were sharp. So I tried to follow that. Now in Mariam, we allow the experience to be leaderless. So it requires the leader to start it typically, unless there are people who already know the deal. So you start uma, 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 and then at some point, someone else, not the leader, just introduces the second melody, which of course people won't necessarily hear quite as well because it's not taught, but nevertheless, uma, Mariam is distinct and it differs from uma, uma, uma very, very noticeably. So everybody moves into the second thing, and then somebody sings uma, Mariam, and so everybody sings, and that's good. But the dance then goes back. Uma, Mariam becomes uma, Mariam, which of course nobody can hear because singing is louder than speaking, except for the neighbors. So the neighbors start speaking or actually singing the monotone, Mariam, and then that catches on. And then someone, it could be someone else, says Mariam, and that's even quieter, and that goes around again. And then you can go up and down for as many times as it works until the dance leader is so tired because of the guitar, they just take over, and that's the mystery of the dance, is that you just have to listen. And there's something extraordinarily unusual and magical about listening. If you took everything away from dances of universal peace except for teaching people how to listen, then you would have a greater experience all in all. People just don't listen to each other. And so, anecdotally, what I'm doing today, you were discussing at one point what I'm doing with my work nowadays. Well, on my musical work, I've actually introduced a style of music where the time signature and the key signature just change. And if you're playing with somebody else, they really have to listen to notice the change and join in. And everyone's just listening all of the time to each other. And at the end of it, there's this experience, which is very unusual for a DUP session. It's higher than that. And it's just to do with listening. So Uma Mariam is that. It's about listening. It's the magic of listening. And like if you take that to the highest spiritual consciousness, listening is the secret to development. It's called reflexive self-consciousness. As I speak now, I'm aware of the fact that I'm being listened to. And I'm aware of the fact that you're very interested in this particular subject and you're not looking to change the subject to say what your commentary is. Not yet. There will come a time when you'd like to say something. And I can hear that. I can feel that in the quality of my voice as it happens. And that's because I was teaching in Russian when I don't have any Russian. So I had to pick up non-verbal clues. So to try to actually teach students of Dances of Universal Peace at that level, that's tricky. But Uma Mariam is my attempt to do that.
And I imagine when that happens, it's like this slow surge, then, like a smaller stream coming into a lake that kind of slowly overtakes the circles.
It can be wonderful, yeah, but you can't do it if it's not in one circle. You have to have one circle. I mean, you can have two concentric circles, it still works. And I've done it in that context. And I've actually done it without teaching. I've done it without speaking. I've actually just stood in the middle and played the music and sort of said, Uma Maria or Uma, Uma, Uma. And then the people who know it, they start doing the side step and they just carry the dance without any instruction at all. And Narayan was in England and he saw me do that. And he said afterwards, I know you're concise in your teaching style, James, but aren't you supposed to speak? So no, I'm actually getting people to listen. So rather, we could not be further sort of ends of the rainbow spectrum. Whereas some people want to say exactly what I want and expect of you, precise instructions that you can't mess up. I actually want to say nothing at all and let people work it out for themselves. So yeah, I'm getting off the point, but Mariam, all about listening and all about groundedness, teaching
That's
people to listen.